Good evening and welcome to the Comic Corner. It is July 28th, 2017. And my topic today is about I noticed lately we've been seeing a lot of Umar Johnson on television. We're starting to see him do interviews. He's starting to get the plug in now. He's starting to get some media uh, actual major media coverage now. And one of the things that I found a problem with, and once again, I don't see why we would be following with Umar Johnson, is that he wants to be Pan African. He wants to make everybody African, which in turn will eventually include everybody. And when I say this basically takes us back to the civil rights era where we had Martin Luther King. Um, I believe in my heart that he tried to do what he thought probably was best for our people, but in turn, what he did was turn us over to uh, basically a financial system that does not support black businesses and black wealth. Mr. Umar Johnson, I think that he wants to do good for black people as a whole, but I have to look at the track record of how black people have included everybody in our process and in our system, and in the end, the black family is at the bottom, and we're at the bottom is because we include everyone else. We want to be accepted almost like a Stockholm thing where uh, it happened to us and we would never want to do it to anyone else. Like, that's how we think in terms of including everyone else. We take the burdens on for slavery instead of the people that actually enslaved us. We're the ones that go out and try to, as you say, Captain Save a Ho. We tried to save everyone else because of our experiences and what we endured as slaves and our forefathers and so forth and so forth. So when you look at this, we're real easy to include everyone. Oh yeah, everybody wants a friend of every culture because we feel like that is going to include us, which in turn what it does is it does include us, but it includes us at the bottom. Okay. And this is where I see us going with Dr. Umar Johnson. Once again, you see a lot of, African, you know, paraphernalia. He wears a dashiki. He's selling the pitch that we are African. And doing the research, yes, our people, which are the slaves of that were the slaves of America, was on the transatlantic slave trade, did come from the continent of Africa. But we were only Africans because we settled there. And generations of our people were called Africans. Why? Because they were born in Africa. Similar as if a Chinaman will be born in America, although his ancestry is from China, he will call himself an American because he was born in America, but his true heritage is not American. Black people in America, so called black people in America, we cannot define what our true heritage is, nor do we know the proper language that we spoke, nor do we know the customs that we held, the foods that we ate. And we have no knowledge of this. This was beaten out of us by our captors and our oppressors. Once again, I'm not trying to change the subject, but what I'm trying to do is set up the trail of where I'm going with this. And what I'm saying is that Dr. Umar Johnson means well, but his inclusion of Africans and anyone of color is wrong. There's a wrong assumption to make that because we are people of color, that we're like all the others. Because the proof is in the pudding. We live in America, which is a so-called what is this called? Melting pot. So if we live in America where this is considered a melting pot, you already have fragments of everything that he's trying to include that are right here in America. Africans, all any African nation or any people of color that he's trying to suture are right here. And none of these people of color see us first. They all have businesses in our communities and they all take our money and they mistreat us. In their own languages, they talk crazy about us. They talk over our heads. They understand that majority of us, 90% of so-called African American descendant of slaves, speak only English. And others are allowed to come into these borders and get ahead of us. Every group is ahead of us. I like to refer as paying out as outcome and paying in as income. As a whole, as black, as so-called black people, black family, we have more outcome than we have income, which means that we cater to everyone else by paying them, whether that be for weave, whether that be for wings and fries at the carryout, whether that be for the African dishes or cuisines that you may like, East Indian dish. Everybody has something that they sell to us, and they have something for us, to the point that us as a family, we don't have to basically produce anything because everyone else has catered to us. All our faculties have been destroyed. Our gates have languished. So therefore, others are allowed to come into this country. Now you got to think deep with me for a second here. Why do you think there was so much hoopla about the ban, about the travel ban? My goodness, people are going crazy because they could get back to America. Because America is a gold pit to everyone else in the world. Because they will come here and they will dominate the black class. And let me tell you why. Because first of all, we're more concerned with what type of Jordans we're going to buy from who? Nike or Jordan. We're more concerned about everything else that we're going to purchase and buy from someone else other than ourselves. And so that is why coming to America is a gold mine. And guess what? America pimps you out to all the other countries in the name of peace, in the name of prosperity. They will pimp us out because they know, I believe we're somewhere near several $billions a year in spending power. Now, the numbers just totally say that we're separated and not together here. Here, we have enough resources to do what we need to be successful as a people. Unfortunately, we have people like Umar Johnson, okay? His audience is everybody. Anybody that's African, any dark-skinned individual, any person that will listen and provide him with resources. Why do you think he's going to Africa? To get resources, to get money. When we have all the resources and money right here in America, but he doesn't have the faith in you. He's going to get the money from Africa and do what the hell he wants to do with it. That's what's going to happen. You are the ploy. Like everyone else pulls on our tails. Everyone else pulls on our leg and gives us a charade in the name of them getting rich. Look at your celebrities. All of your majority. I'll say majority because some of them are waking up. But they have nothing good to say when it's their opportunity to get in front of the microphone, in front of America. Granted, it may be the last time, but you would think some of them have made enough money to where now they can say what they feel like. But not here. Our gates have languished. Blacks in America have no leadership. And our leadership isn't saying anything. And Mr. Umar Johnson, like I said, this brother may mean well. And I'm sure he, in his heart, he wants to see us prosper. But it is not the right plan. How we're going to be successful is depending on us to do the things that we're supposed to do. And men taking up for men, and men putting themselves first before anything else. Black men putting themselves first before anything else is how we're going to climb out of this. That's how we're going to climb out of this hole. That's where the leadership is going to come from. Black men concerned about black men. Everything else will follow. The black man is the head. And when the black man becomes the head, order is in place. Now, if you can get several black men to have order in place, now we have a dynasty. But unfortunately, there's no belief in us to do these things. Listen to your leaders. Your leaders are homosexuals. Homosexuals should not be leading straight men. Maybe homosexuals should lead homosexuals, but they should not lead or have anything to say in leading straight black men. Straight black men are the leadership to themselves. It's no way that your preacher being a homosexual is going to be able to support or encourage a straight black man to be a strong black man. It just doesn't make sense. It's a conflict of interest, you know. But I want to stay on topic. But all this leads into place because we feel we need to include everyone else but ourselves. And like I said, once again, Dr. Umar Johnson, I know he means well. And a lot of you are going to say, well, he's trying to do something for black people. But we already had someone try to do something for black people. And all that did was take money away from black businesses and gave it to white corporates. Gave your money away to Walmart. Gave your money away to every white corporation that basically doesn't have to hire black people because there were jobs created by white people. And those jobs are for white people. Black people need to create jobs for black people. Now, Mr. Dr. Umar Johnson made a statement about how he visits HBCU colleges. Well, the whole purpose for having an HBCU college, that's why you have your agriculture mechanics, your agriculture technologies, were to put infrastructure in place so that black people would have businesses, industry, a financial industry. This is what the HBCU's missions were to be. But instead of that today, they are graduating homosexuals and lesbians at an all-time high, and they are working for white corporations. So black man, we, straight black men, have to work ourselves out of this. This has nothing, this is not gay, homosexual bashing. This has nothing to do with them. This is to straight black men. My concern is straight black men being the men they're supposed to be. And once again, Dr. Umar Johnson is trying, he makes some good points, but understand he's not the leadership we should be going with. Once again, he's getting all the airtake. He's getting all the mass media, but he's including everyone. And including everyone is not going to get blacks in America the prosperity that we need, because everyone will take like they already are. The proof is in the pudding. They're doing it now. Wake up. Everyone here gets paid but you. Okay, I want to thank you. I appreciate your time. If you have anything to say, go ahead and leave a comment. I know there's going to be negative comments, but I'm trying to come from an intellectual point of view. And I want to thank you and have a good night.